Welcome to Drafting Out Loud for 6/6/2026. Today we're looking at the underdog market movers here on the Leverage Lab. We got some risers that we want to look at that are a little bit further down the list, but are slowly rising over the past month. We're going to look at a couple of fallers and try to make sense of why they're falling and what we should do with it, and then see if there's any good values on Underdog. Let's get into it. So we all know some of the biggest risers. They're obvious. You could have predicted AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. But if we scroll down our list a little bit, I think we have some sneaky risers on here that we need to pay attention to before they get too expensive, get into another bracket or something like that. The first one here is Christian Watson. He's up 2 picks in the last 30 days. You kind of see he's been slowly rising over the last 30 days, over the last week, and over the last 2 days here. And he signed a new contract. I think he's a good pick. I like him more than the rookies personally, just because I think I know what I'm getting here. I think I know getting something really good um, on a team that's interesting too. So I expect him to, if he keeps on rising up, that's one we need to be aware of. And then another, a little slightly more pricey wide receiver, Terry McLaurin, up 5 picks, so half a round in the past month, so here to 45. I haven't been drafting much over the last month, so I feel out of the loop a little bit here. Kind of working on some of the stuff you can kind of see in front of you here, but. That is an interesting one too. It looks like he's still rising slightly here. Maybe that's just noise, but the trend is up, up, and up. So another one that's slowly going up. And then Lad McConkey's got a lot of buzz from a number of sites. The biggest one being Matt Harmon, reception perception. Uh, Lots of great things as far as his ability to run routes and things like that. And then other people are commenting on the Chargers offense and how Lad McConkey could get some run that you didn't see last year. He might get run in certain ways this year that really benefit him. So he's rising up here last week, last month, last week, last 2 days also. So I think those are wide receivers you want to be aware of. If you do go running back early, you can afford to get some of these wide receivers in the third, fourth, fifth round, things like that. So seeing what is rising right now, it might make sense to go running back early if you can in these drafts. If we go and look at the fallers, one of the fallers here that's noteworthy, I guess, is Rome Odunze. I'm not sure what to do here with Rome Odunze. On one side, kind of feels good because I've been drafting Christian McCaffrey over Rome Odunze often, and so, you get one rising, one falling. He was actually rising up until recently, where he's kind of given up most of that rise here. And he had a conversation about how his fractured foot from last year and the new normal is what he used, or something along those lines. Sounds like it's not hurt anymore, but I think people are taking it as if it is hurt. So I'm not sure what to do with that one. Not really finding anything out there from a medical professional that could help me out with more information. Chuba falling down the boards a little bit here. You can see over the past month, week, and 2 days. And actually that coincides with Jonathan Brooks rising up the boards here rather significantly over the past month. Two round, no, a whole round, over a round and a third or so in the last month. So this is another player. He's in a weird spot though. He's like in that J.K. Dobbins spot from before, where he's right there in that quarterback window. And do you want to get the quarterback or do you want to get the running back? And then uh, once he rises up a little more, then he won't be in that quarterback window anymore. So that's something we need to think about and figure out how we're going to work with that. And then this one's interesting here as far as the fallers go. Colston Loveland falling down the board. You'd think if Roma Dunze was falling because of the foot fracture, you'd kind of expect Colston Loveland to be rising. But we don't see Luther Burden on the rising list. We don't see Colston Loveland on the rising list. In fact, we see him on the fallers list. So that is an interesting one as well, that the market just seems to be doing things a little bit funny there as far as that one goes. And then as far as our values go, are there any values that we are going to want to take advantage of? You can see actually Colston Loveland is a value by about half a round here. And so that's what I like. He was falling in the fifth when I was drafting a lot. Um, I don't know if he's still falling into the fifth. If he is, definitely want to take him in the fifth. I don't mind taking him anytime in the fourth, though. I think he's one of those players I want to spread around throughout. I felt like he was the one that was getting targeted more overall. Luther Burden had his games, but just felt like Colston Loveland was just every game getting peppered with targets. And um, so I think he's one that if you draft, he could separate from the rest of the field, be, right up there with Brock Bowers, Trey McBride after this year. If we keep on going down the list, Lamar Jackson is a value. It's not surprising. Usually the QBs we saw were values on Underdog versus DraftKings. But 56 for Lamar Jackson, even 50 for Lamar Jackson is pretty nice. Okay. Jacoby Brissett, a value, and this is kind of like, I'm not sure what to do with this one here. I drafted him on one team and as like a third quarterback 'cause he was falling, and I can see now that that was a mistake because I've lost all the value that I got from ADP and more probably in that draft. So there we go. There are risers, fallers, and values on Underdog. I think what we want to do here is try to get some running backs early, try to get some of these wide receivers before they rise up more up the board, and go from there. I'll see you in the drafts.